Hey guys, hope you guys are doing good out there. When I started, one of my goals was to eventually end up hitting 1 million views or streams or something. That was just like a, self-actualization thing. Like, before I leave this earth, I want to get 1 million views, or I want 1 million streams on some song that I do. And finally it happened. It's Facebook. I can't see where it's at because I go through a distributor, and the distributor gives you a spreadsheet. So I can see that I got over 1 million streams. If you made a TV show and 1 million people watched it, you would think, wow, that's pretty good. 1 million people watched what I did. But for online streaming, I'll attach the spreadsheets here, or like I'll highlight the area. It ended up paying $11, I think, for the 1 million. It ends up being more than 1 million. You'll see, I'll kind of page through. But when you get 1 million streams, pages and pages of this stuff, of like accountant type stuff, there's a little chatbot that's an option when you're logged into your distributor thing. And I started asking. I've never talked to AI before, so I probably made some mistakes. It started off with me saying, I saw Facebook streams pay less than 1,000th of a penny. 0.0000, is that 4 zeros? 3462 is an example from my page. So you can imagine, to make a penny, but some of the streams are different. Some streams pay more. So there's a few factors in that. Like, if somebody listens to your music and they're in Costa Rica, it might pay different than if somebody listens to your music and they're in Turkey or anywhere else. So I ended up saying, how is that legal? Or if the company that I work with, it's not really their fault, so I don't want to put them on blast, has legal representation so they can collect more money. The AI thought about this and says, oh, I hear your concern. Those Facebook amounts can look surprisingly small. Here's how it works with earnings are calculated per production event, each unique post story using your track. Facebook provides a revenue pool and detailed reporting only after a track hits certain thresholds. So I'm thinking, does that mean there's a whole bunch of people with their music out there getting streamed that they didn't hit those thresholds? Do they get zero? I don't know. That's another question for AI. And then the company pays you 70% of what Facebook pays us. It says like revenue split across a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah. And so I nailed it down. Like, can you explain the phrase, revenue is split across huge volumes of posts, please? AI is thinking about it, and it says, great question. Happy to clarify. The AI is happy about this. On Facebook, Instagram, earnings are for eligible tracks are tied to production events. Each unique post or story that uses your music, Facebook pays out of a pool of revenue to rights holders across massive numbers of these posts worldwide. When that total gets divided among countless uses, I would like to ask it, what is being divided among countless uses? Can we see these uses? Anyway, the per event value becomes a tiny fraction of a cent. This is ridiculous. So the publisher, that's my company, then pays you 70% of what Facebook pays us. That's why you may see amounts like 0.000034. It reflects the total pool being shared across very large volumes of uses and territories. I just wrote because what do you say to that? I said, that's actually funny. And then the AI says, I hear you. If you'd like, I can also point you to where you can see the totals by period or by track for Facebook. So the tiny per event amounts make more sense in an aggregate. Want me to show you that? And I just said, sure. Are you hearing the frustration in my voice? Maybe a little bit of anger. So it says, I think it says awesome. Yeah, I said sure, and it says awesome. Here are 2 quick ways to see Facebook totals in your account. Yeah, I think that was kind of where I threw in the towel. I was just like, what the heck? I remember in like 2014, the publisher, distributor, whatever you want to call it, that I work with, like, sent out an email saying that there was going to be one person that they're sending to this big meeting to represent us for making streaming amounts make sense, or it never happened. I think he just went in there and got bought off. There was, what is the guy's name? I forgot the guy's name, but he wrote All About the Bass by Meghan Trainor, and I think he ended up with a massive amount of streams, and I think his check ended up being $5,000. It's anyway, that's so it's kind of good news, kind of a little bit funny, not so funny, but anyway, hope you guys are doing good out there. Thanks for checking out my video. Have a good day. Bye.